Are you one of these people? Are you one of the people who says that this X console is so underpowered, therefore maybe next gen they should rev it up in order for to entice more third party game developers to develop for that game, etc., etc., etc. Well, then I hate to break it to you. It's not that you're wrong. It's like you're completely wrong. Being overpowered, being ahead of the race doesn't make you any it doesn't have you and doesn't merit you any advantages at all when it comes to, of course, consoles. First, you need to ask yourself, if you're going to develop a console, if you're going to research a new console, what will be your priorities on? And of course, you're going to set a budget on it. Not to mention, you're going to at least consider what are you going to do with that console. What are the features that you're going to present in that console? How powerful it can be without actually compromising the price, therefore driving your customers off. Not to mention, um, the comp being complement to one part of the other, because if the one is too overpowered and the next it's just fine, it's not going to work properly. It's development 101. It's research 101. You can ask every other industry out there, whether you're in car manufacturing, whether you're in fighting, chip development, passenger plane development. They all follow the same scheme in which they're going to set the budget. They're going to prioritize on what the product will do. What will the product be, the usage be when it comes to the people who are going to buy them, especially the patrons, which means you, me, and everyone else. Being being ahead of the race doesn't make you any doesn't really do anything for you. You might have the most powerful console ever, but if the fact is, if it's too expensive, no one's going to buy it. And not to mention, having the most powerful console doesn't make anything, or at least in this industry, games doesn't equal great games, because there are powerful consoles there. There are more energy. There are more so-called fashionable or more powerful engines there in cars, but doesn't mean that doesn't really constitutes anything aside that you only have a powerful console. You also have to consider the variables, because in different regions, in different continents, game console market, when it comes to the video game industry, there are things that you have to consider, that markets change from time to time, and not to mention the demographic also changes from time to time. One year you know that, hey, motion controls is a thing. The next thing you know, it isn't. The one thing you know, the other will be, the next thing you know, this game is hot right now, and the sequel that you're going to release next year, it isn't. It's just how the market works. And no, 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 and don't get on this shtick that I am a economics expert. No, 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 I'm not like that. I'm just a guy who just loves to talk about video games, or just someone just went outside. And not to mention, you have to think also on the perspective on what these corporations do. Don't tell me that the video game industry operates, subsequent to special and exclusive outside of every other corporations, other corporations in other industries, because that's not it. It's they still work on the same basis. They still work on the same framework, which is to make profit. That's about it. And one other thing you have to consider: when in Rome, do what the Romans do. It's not that I'm saying that you should be inside of the gaming industry to understand the gaming industry even more, when it comes to the corporate side of things. All you need to do is actually read books, analyze the variables, consider all of those. Because when a console doesn't sell well, doesn't sell well just because of this one reason that you have, just because you're a gamer, you know all these things. It's not what it is. In corporate world, there are tons of factors that you need to consider, because the numbers are just there, but the numbers only tells us that either the strategy worked or the strategy isn't. And also the names, well, it's not just the CEO came up with these names. That's where the marketing people steps in and says, what we should do, name our console. Yeah, sure, the name of the console is just the previous one. They just added a new letter. The same thing with the other one. You just two consonant letters, end of number, right? But the difference is people are got confused by it, and therefore, and also with the new 3DS, and they said, "What the hell is this name?" It's just like the 3DS. They only added new. It's like people are saying that they didn't thought of it at all. Yeah, because people, in the corporate world, people there, they don't really throw money at the marketing department. No, really, they don't do that. They don't do that. No, no, they don't. So especially with the commercials, no, it's just the company just set it up like nicely and hitch high. You just drag a director and say, "Oh, please do this commercial," as we said. That's your thinking. Well, as for me, well, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. You don't demand to turn Rome into a Gaelic state and do Gaelic traditions just because you're a Roman who apparently like Gaelic culture. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, I'm Homer, and you know what? Um, ow, my head hurts. I don't know for what reason. I just slept late last night. See you later.